The concept for the restaurant on the whole was to do sort of farm-to-table stuff, food that comes from a place and a person and not a factory. And so sort of keeping with that idea of just terroir. Obviously, whiskey's not a seasonal thing. It's not going to change from fall to spring. But it is something that sort of fits into that overall philosophy of, craft spirits go along with, independent farmers, things like that. I mean, this is about as traditional a setting to drink whiskey in as you can imagine. Like, short of having cigars in here, it sort of checks all the boxes of, wood paneling, brick, comfy leather chairs, couches, all of that. So. Just trying to do something that's sort of elegant as well as, comfortable. Well, two things. I think, going back to what I was saying earlier about wanting to have things that have a sense of terroir, vodka is the anti-terroir. Vodka is something that's been stripped of all of its character to the point of being neutral. So, that's really at the opposite end of the spectrum. We could absolutely have done rum or mezcal or a variety of other things, but I think partly because that's what the owners are excited about and they like to drink, and also the setting that we're in the financial district, and as much as mezcal might meet the criteria for all those other things, whiskey is definitely the thing that when most people are getting out of the office, that's what they're going for. There are a couple ways to interpret that, I guess. There are bottles in here that are super unique just in the sense that they're from a distillery that is no longer around. So, every day there's less of it than there was yesterday, and that makes them pretty special. And then you've just got whiskeys that are sort of like oddball, weirdo things that you're not going to see anybody else doing something quite like that.
Okay, for instance?
I'm a big fan of Brimstone, which is a smoked Texas corn whiskey. So that is something that came about. They wanted to do a peated whiskey, but obviously there are no peat bogs in Waco, Texas. So sort of keeping with that same idea of terroir that we keep coming back to, they said, well, what do we have in abundance? We've got Texas scrub oak. So they smoked their whiskey with Texas scrub oak. And if I poured that for you, whether you know anything about whiskey or not, and I said, where did this come from? You'd be like, tastes like Texas. And that's really cool. So that's a fun one. Yeah, we could do a bunch of tastings in here. So sometimes people book the room out, and we'll either do a tour of one region of the world, or we'll taste through a bunch of different things that somebody picks out and they want to share with their friends. In addition to doing stuff by the half ounce or the full pour, we also do bottles. So if there's ever something that somebody finds and they're totally in love with and they're afraid that it's so rare, it's not going to be here next time, we let them purchase the bottle, drink as much as you want, we'll save it for you next time and keep it. Also, people are always welcome to buy gifts for people. We've got a woman who bought a bottle of Van Winkle family rye for her husband. It's his birthday, so that's a nice present, and anything in between. As far as whiskeys, we're always changing the menu. So, again, whatever becomes available, or somebody calls me something, came their way and they want to pass it on, we like to bring that in. Probably 85% of the people that come in here, the first question out of their mouth is, do you guys have cigars in here? And we don't, although there are some talks about getting a separate room with a vent so we can smoke in there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that about covers it, yeah. Let's drink some whiskey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.